Hey guys, on today's quick tip we're going to show you how to change the spark plugs on a 2005 ZX-6r. This process is pretty much similar to most motorcycles across, doesn't matter if it's a cruiser or a sport bike or a dirt bike. The process is pretty much the same, so let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, the bike's already torn down to a certain degree. All motorcycles, the spark plugs are on top of the cylinder, so if it's a sport bike you're going to have to take a good amount of stuff off to get to it. If it's a V-twin or a single, it might be a little bit easier to get to, especially if it's a cruiser, because you won't have that many fairings. But on the sport bike, you do have to take the tank off, and on this ZX-6r, we're going to take the air box off as well. But if you look on my Ducati back here, the spark plugs are easily accessible without taking too many stuff off. So if you can do it on the sport bike, you can do it on just about anything. So you can see I've already taken the tank off. That just took a few bolts here and there. That takes completely off. You should be able to do it by hinging it, but I'm working on other things, so I took it to on the ZX-6r. To take the air box off, you have to take this bolt that's located up here. There's also a good amount of air hoses and all of your fuel injection ports, so that needs to be removed. There's also 4 boots that need to be loosened so that you can take the whole air box off. Once you do remove this portion, the system just lifts right off, as you can see, like this. So there's an air hose here, there's a fuel hose here, there's a big air port here, and these are those 4 boots we were talking about. So after that, it just comes right off. And then from here, we can see all your throttle bodies with your fuel injection systems. And then now we can see where your spark plugs are, and I'll take you guys to a closer. So while we have this, since we have this all open, we can see all of the 4 spark plugs that we're going to try to get to. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we have our new spark plugs right here. They're already pre-gapped, so I don't have to worry about that, and should be pretty straightforward. So you just got to take the connector off, and then this comes right off. Now I have to get my sockets and get in there. When dealing with spark plugs, tools like this are really critical to try to get into those tight corners. So I'm going to use my short extension, this turn, and let's see if we can get it in there. Perfect. And I'm going to use this guy. Make sure it's loosening. Okay, if you think the spark plug's loose and your spark plug socket can't get it out, you might have to use a magnet. Okay, there we go. So you can see the spark plug, not too bad, but... So let's take a look. Here's the old one and the new one. I also like to put a little bit of anti-seize on my spark plugs. This is $1. It gives me a little bit of sense of peace that my spark plugs won't seize when I take this out, sometime from now. So, oh, that's a lot. So I just like to put a little bit on one side of the thread. Put that in here. Here we go. Should hang upside down. Okay. My tip is to go backwards until I feel a click. That means that the threads is just right past, there it is. It's just right past that first engaging lead thread. And after that I go forward. You definitely don't want to cross thread this. So I'm gonna hand tighten. Don't want to over torque it. I don't want to use an impact gun. Just nice and slow. There we go. That's about as much as my hand can go. Now I'm gonna put the wrench to it. They're snug and just a little bit past. There we go. So that one is good. We're gonna go ahead and just put this bad boy back on. There we go. You feel it. You can feel it engage. That one's done. We just repeat the process for the rest of it, and then the spark plugs are good. That's it, guys. We have the 4 spark plugs right here. We have all 4 new ones inside the bike, and that's it. You just replaced your spark plugs for a ZX-6r. After this, just make sure you put your air box back where you found it. Put your bolt back in. Put your boots back. Make sure they're seated right, and then plug in all your hoses. After that, you're done. It's not that bad, is it?